Hey guys, it's me. I'm sorry that it has been a long time since I've updated you, but yesterday, after 13 days in the hospital, I am finally home. And so I thought I would take the quiet time that I have, to update you on what happened, because the last time that you saw me, I was on my way to the emergency room, and I think I posted another video of me when I was in the ICU. To make a long story short, it took them a while to figure out what was going on with me, but I had an allergic reaction to Percocet, which I had been taking since I had my surgery. But they believe once I started taking my lupus medication, I hadn't taken my Percocet until I had my drains removed on Wednesday, and that's when everything started kind of happening and started building up. They also found out that I have MRSA, which is a little bit stronger form of staph infection. And they believe that my drains were helping take it out of my body. But once the drains were pulled, there was nowhere for it to go. And so, in combination with the allergic reaction and the staph, that is what led me to the hospital. Now, it took them a week to find the MRSA. The allergic reaction was easy to treat, but the MRSA, they put me on several different antibiotics. And one of them was vancomycin, and vancomycin on some people destroys their veins. And so I had about 6 different IVs, and they finally put something called a midline IV, which is up top in your arm area. And by the time that they had done that, they had switched me to something else, which is great. I also had another drain put in to drain the abscesses of MRSA that were in my body. Now, part of the condition of me getting released from the hospital was that somebody had to take care of the drain. Now, the people that placed the drain were radiologists. They would not handle it. The team of doctors that admitted me to the hospital did not want to handle it. And so everyone was just kind of like, well, we don't want to handle it. We don't want to handle it. So they finally asked my plastic surgeon, and he agreed that he would take care of it. So thankfully, because of him, I got to come home, which is wonderful, because my kids being jostled around from grandparent to grandparent was very, very difficult. We also worried about it being paid for by insurance. So far, we've received word that 8 days so far we've received word are being paid for. So that's wonderful. My plastic surgeon has been a wonderful advocate for me. His team was in every day checking on me. He came in several times. So that was great. What was I going to say? Oh, my lupus, they checked several times. They checked my kidneys several times. My kidney function at one point got very low, so they were watching me very closely. My hemoglobin got low enough that at one point I got a couple transfusions of blood. But then it started to go back up, so they weren't concerned anymore. But other than that, I just have a drain. I am taking an antibiotic 4 times a day for 2 weeks. Then after that, 2 times a day for 2 weeks. Then I go back to infectious disease, and they do a scan to see how the abscesses look and whether I can stop the antibiotic or not. They also put me on vitamin D to try to help with cell regrowth. And I'm also on a pain medication now that I am not allergic to. I'm allergic to another one in that family called tramadol. So they were worried to put me on another one, but they put me on hydrocodone because this drain is a lot different. It is not a typical plastic surgery drain, and it is very painful. And so they want me to wean myself off of it, and I'm trying to. But it's just, I'm very uncomfortable because I'm still in the healing process of the surgery from the first part, and then you put another drain, plus being in the hospital 13 days. I was walking with a walker. I was so weak. I've just started walking without it. And so it's been very difficult. My stomach looks great. They had me put on an abdominal binder in the hospital, and that helped a lot. I go see my plastic surgeon on Monday, and so I'm hoping maybe he will give me something a little better, or maybe a better compression garment that fits me a little bit better. I don't know. Until then, I am just strictly to rest. I am not too overdue. This drain requires flushing into my body. Like you just screw on a syringe and flush it into me. My husband had to learn how to do that before I was allowed to leave. He had to change the dressings, like learn how to change them, which was very complicated. He learned how to do it all. I am so thankful. He stayed with me every night. He would help me get out of bed to go pee in the middle of the night. Like, the nurses were telling me how lucky I was to have him, and I am. He's my soulmate, and I don't know what I would do without him. I had lots of family come visit, lots of friends. I had friends back home and people back home praying for me, and it was a scary situation. There was a time when they were still trying to search for what was wrong, and my fevers were still 103, that I told Greg, my husband, I said, I want you to take care of the boys. Do you promise you'll take care of them? And he said, you're not going to die. I said, but I feel like I'm going to, because they don't know what's wrong. And they didn't for a long time. Like I said, it took them, I would say, 5 or 6 days to figure out that there was MRSA. So when you don't know what's wrong, it's very terrifying. The whole situation was very, very terrifying. And that's why I didn't vlog very much in the hospital. I wanted to focus on my healing because I wanted to get home to my children and try to get back to some sort of normal life, no matter how hard that was for me. At the moment, I am not allowed to take my main lupus medication. They pulled that because they think once I started taking that my immune system kind of just went into a tailspin. I go and see my lupus doctor in 2 weeks. When she heard I was in the hospital, they called and she wants to see me. So I'm going to talk to her and see what she wants to do. Because they said now they don't think it was lupus related at all. Some doctors say it was, some say it wasn't. It's hard to get many different specialties on board to agree, because I had infectious disease, I had rheumatology, I had nephrology, which is kidneys, I had my team of doctors, regular doctors, And so everybody on trying to get on board at once was just very difficult. So anyway, I am home now. I am technically 3 weeks post-op. I wish I had pictures to show you, but at the moment I am more concerned about healing and getting back to normal. I can tell you though, my incision is pretty much healed. I can tell you that my abs aren't and my belly button isn't really, but my incision site is for the most part. Last night when I came home from the hospital, I've gotten so used to sleeping in a hospital bed. I said I don't want to sleep in a recliner, so I kind of put 2 pillows on my bed and then used my wedge pillow, and I slept comfortably. So that was kind of nice. So yeah, it's getting better every day. The tummy tuck part of it is getting better every day. The other part, there's been setbacks. Do I regret it? No, because I don't have all that skin hanging off of me. There were other surgeries that I wanted to have. Now I think that I will just stay happy with how I am, because this kind of terrified me with my low immune system and how my body reacts to surgeries. I don't think that I want to have anything else done, just because I don't want to be in the hospital anymore. I don't want to be poked, prodded, messed with, have a whole group of men. You know, having plastic surgery, you have, my plastic surgeon is a man, and to have a straight, and when you first meet him and you go in for a consult, you strip down naked and you have this man look at you and tell you basically not necessarily what's wrong with you, but what he can do for you to fix you per se. When you're in the hospital, you have a group of 6 or 7 men standing all around you, looking down at you, poking and prodding you in all your areas, knowing you've had this surgery, and it's awful, and it's embarrassing, and your husband's standing right there, but they just gather around you, and your vanity goes out the window, yes, and I learned that very quickly, but also I could do without it. So anyway, I will go in the bathroom real quick and take some pictures of my stomach, because my abdominal binder did get washed. So it is in the wash. I will put some pictures that I took from the hospital in. And I just wanted to give you all a quick update on where I've been. So yeah, hopefully I will talk to you all later with some happier updates.